gut, ein Instrument zu lernen. Aber ich muss an erster Stelle eigentlich stellen Kritikfähigkeit, Standfestigkeit und ein Instrument mit Freude zu lernen.
Something about watching people do like perfect their craft, like hone their craft and practice and learn and get better, and watching teachers teach students that I really gravitate towards, whether it's from like any sort of like school entertainment like Harry Potter to like other TV shows. So this documentary is kind of made for me in that, like watching teachers teach students, specifically their craft of like music or an instrument, was very interesting. It was very interesting, and also really the documentary was really put together well. I really like the cinematography and the shot like framing. I don't know. I think it was really well put together, and also I really like the music. So overall, really well done.
As someone who's tried to learn music in the past with not much success, this one really resonated with me. I thought it was just fascinating to see how the different instructors approached teaching music to different students of different ages and different skill levels, the differences and the similarities between them, the through lines that appeared, like one of the instructors suggesting that the key to teaching is asking the right questions, and then another instructor saying how younger students especially, tend to learn by asking the right questions. So I thought that was all really smartly put together in an interesting way. And yeah, it was just a fun and informative piece. I really enjoyed the harp jam session there at the beginning. Just delightful all around. Definitely recommend checking out Chameleons.
Watching this documentary, Chameleons, listening to the stories of all these mentors and how they teach their students and just what music means to them was very insightful. I used to get lessons on playing the piano, and it was really interesting to see all the different forms of learning. There were drums, there were strings, there were brass, so many different instruments and so many different forms. It was very interesting, and also it was very enjoyable to listen to all these different instruments come together, and just hearing all of them learn. It was a very fun experience just to see all these different instruments come to life.
Some of the most influential people in my life are music teachers, and I think I was always amazed how each of them had their own personal approach and would alter it to suit where I was at. And they really do find that perfect balance in both discipline of the skill, but also of the play and the creativity of constantly adapting to each student they have, trying new approaches and experimenting to reach the student in their best way of learning. And I thought that this piece captured that so brilliantly, from this lovely array of teachers in different instruments, in different disciplines, coming from different backgrounds. But they were also dedicated and passionate, and that was captured brilliantly. They very much embodied that title of chameleons, who are altering to their audience and their environment. So yeah, ultimately I think it was great subjects. I loved seeing the actual performances themselves, and really great examples that felt intimate and not too staged of being in the lesson and seeing them in their element. I immediately sent this piece to my sister, who is a music teacher, and she thought it also very much captured that process of a music teacher's approach to really connecting, to making a student bring a piece to life.
This is a nice, entertaining journey through different artistic expressions through music. They have testimonials from teachers and educators for music instruments, techniques, and different skill levels. So we get to discover an infinite array of tonalities, movements, and intentions. I loved watching the in-person experiences from workshops, classes, and practices, and the results of those efforts into individuals and communities as a whole. It was a great film. I really
That
enjoyed
was
it.
an interesting trip into musical pedagogy. Yeah, it was fascinating to see that even though there's like all different ranges of teachers, different age groups, different musical styles, instruments, they all shared just a genuine interest in relating, in helping their students understand and become better musicians. So it was a great insight into their passion and their generosity, I guess, in transmitting their knowledge to their students. I thought that the documentary was well done. It just was very much like it really brought us into the intimate space of the subjects. So it didn't do anything fancy. It just went in there brought the camera in there and gave the people the space to express themselves honestly and naturally, and I think that really came across well. It really gave us a good insight into the different worlds that it was exploring. So yeah, well done. Good film work. Job at getting the subjects at ease and just being natural in front of the camera. That's not always easy to do. I thought that was well done also. So yeah, it was an interesting watch, an interesting tour into a world that we don't, I guess, get to see that often. And yeah, I came out maybe wanting to take some singing lessons myself. I miss my choir
You guys
days.
did a really great job with Chameleons. I think it was such a fascinating film, especially for someone like me who doesn't play an instrument and isn't familiar with, the different methods of teaching and learning music. It was, I learned a lot from it. I think you guys did a really great job of, having a variety of different teachers, share their opinions on, methods for teaching music. I thought that was really a strong point of the film. And I also like that you provided teachers who teach various age groups as well, because it was really interesting to see how the methods of teaching differ between age groups. I also really enjoyed particularly the last instructor, who was a voice instructor, talk about the voice as an instrument, like how he said a trumpet is something that you can put down, but the voice is something you can't put down. So I thought that was a super interesting portion of it. And overall, I think you guys just did a great job of, incorporating B-roll with the interviews. I thought there was a really good balance of that, and it was just very professionally done, and I really enjoyed it. So good job.
Documentary about music teachers, and I believe this is shot in Austria, but there's so much about it that translates over to pretty much anywhere. I assume, I live in Canada. I loved it so much. It was so cozy. And just getting to sit down and watch people talk about the art of teaching and the art of inspiring people is such a underappreciated aspect of music and art in general. I feel like I learned so much about creativity and the creative process in general, and finding inspiration, and also the process of communication and sort of instilling the same love for your craft in other people. It was great. And every single tableau that was shot, every single group of people, class, I felt like built on the previous lesson that we were taught as viewers, which was really nice. And there was such a massive variety that they managed to get in here. I got to listen to some great music. I got to hear the, stories of some incredible people. and I just got to cozy down with some tea and watch a fantastic documentary about people being happy, which is exactly what I needed.